Well, I'm so excited and happy for our team and just how hard they played, but how they were, just how they handled themselves throughout the entire 40 minutes. Outside of the 10 turnovers in the fourth quarter, they were brilliant in terms of how they handled the press attack, to the way they guarded, to the way they rebounded. Again, the 21 turnovers, again, 10 of those came in the fourth, which was a little choppy for us. But, we knew we had to do a couple things in this game. We had to keep them off the free throw line, which we did. We had to be great in transition, which we were. And then we had to rebound the ball. And the kids did an outstanding job in all three of those areas. Plus, they hit shots. They executed when they were hedging. They found the extra. Their teammates had 21 assists, shared the ball. A lot of good to great shots out there tonight that our kids found. And it's all of them. There's not one. I mean, Yarden obviously had a double-double and 6 assists. And but the way Strip and Shay and Chloe and Sid, I mean, really, really, really good things that all of them had to do in order to put us in a position to win the game. So really just happy for my team tonight.
Teri, do you need a new clipboard after that fourth quarter?
Yeah, that was Allie's. That was AP's. So, again, I thought the game just got a little bit aggressive, and we knew Ohio State wasn't going to go away, right? And so I just felt there was a lot of physical play out there, and then, we were turning the ball over a little bit too much down the stretch there. So there was a moment of frustration.
Yeah. How much of a sense of urgency did you sense from your team and your staff to get the job done tonight? Opportunity,
yeah.
Big resume win that you really needed.
Right.
How much of a sense of urgency was there tonight?
Well, as we go down the stretch here, Seth, everything is about urgency, and with the schedule that we have some opportunities here, we know that obviously Michigan State's much like Ohio State in terms of the way they press and whatnot. So, we're kind of using it as, I don't know if it's an advantage, but, going and playing against a team like Ohio State that does press. We know that Michigan State's going to, that's how they play as well. So, but yeah, these kids again, their sense of urgency. I think, I know today it's shoot around. I felt it just felt a little bit different.
What felt different?
Well, again, I think as we go down the stretch here, someone had asked me about do I talk to them about what's at stake, and the answer to that is no. They're old, they're veteran, they're experienced. I got to trust that they know what's at stake, and then I have to put it in their hands to, what our job is to give them the best scouting report, the strategy that we think will put us in a position to be successful, and then they got to go out and execute it. And I thought that they knew, they executed it, in just the way that we had hoped that they would.
Did this feel like a breakthrough moment, kind of a culmination of the season? I mean, the emotions kind of you guys had, the focus. I mean, did you feel like this was a part of maybe learning lessons?
Yeah, again, Ohio State's such a great team, and we've seen it with the UCLAs that have been in here and the USCs, and again, although we came up short in those games, it's like, and I'm not saying it's a good thing. We rise to the occasion, right? And we knew this was an opportunity, and Ohio State is, a top 10 team in the country, and so we knew it was going to take something extra special. There's no doubt. But I'm glad that, like I said, I'm so happy for our kids because, I think they know that they have it in them. But to see how tonight they especially how they handle themselves against the press, right? Because you guys have been around to see us not be able to do that. And I thought being able to do that in Ohio State taking off the press, I thought that gave us a lot of confidence that, yeah, we can get this thing done. I think that, again, they not only were confident, but they obviously they did a great job defensively too, and taking away some of. And again, we played more zone tonight than we played all year, so trying to keep them off balance with zone and man. Again, we just ask them. It's not something that we spend a lot of time on. So for them to be able to execute and be in that zone and rebound the ball the way they did was crucial.
Yeah, Teri, Shea called Yarden the silent killer of your team. Saw a little bit of that confidence after the last three. Just how important is that personality, that persona to this team?
I mean, she's a very serious competitor, right? She wants to win, and she wants to contribute and do what she has to do to help her team. And she's been really good here as of late. And I thought it started the other day against Purdue. We saw her be probably more aggressive than we had seen her, right? Wasn't the same at Michigan, wasn't the same at Minnesota. And so, again, been watching film with her and just trying to instill, like, we need you to be aggressive. And I thought she was against Purdue, and I thought it kind of bled into tonight, her being aggressive, trying to get to the rim, but also finding her shots, outside the arc as well. And again, rebounding, that was huge, and the 6 assists, pretty special.
Teri, the way the game started, you guys had so many open layups.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a second there on the bench saying, wow, I like the way this is going, can we do this for the whole game?
Yeah.
Or anything like that?
No, we wanted them to sort of embrace it. We wanted them to be aggressive against it, and that's how they came out. Like, they were ready to kind of conquer it, because they knew that in the past it's been something that has disrupted us. And so I think they were focused on what they needed to do, to handle it the way they did.
Obviously a huge resume boost here, but moving forward, how do you avoid complacency with 2 more ranked opponents coming up?
Yeah, I don't think that that's going to happen with this group. As I, shared with Mike, I think that they know what's at stake. I don't have to trick them into, understanding that. So they know what they have to do.
Yeah, so Shea and Sydney talked about how, press break was a big part of practice this week. What was a key piece that you were trying to put into during practice, like how to get through Ohio State's press?
We didn't want to turn it over. That was the first thing. We wanted to be able to get the ball inbounds and then, try to hit over the top, which we did several times. We talked about, it's going to have to be a balance of beating it with passes over the top, but also, beating it with a dribble from time to time. And then getting it over the timeline. It's one thing, to be able to attack it, get it over the timeline, but then you get into the half court, and they're very good defensively in the half court as well. And so we talked a lot about navigating, getting through the press attack, but then how important it was going to be for us to execute in the half court once we got it across the timeline, and not take quick shots and not turn the ball over in the half court. And so, they understood that in order to win the game, they were going to have to, get through the press, but then get to the half court and force them to have to guard.
Yeah, Teri, with Sydney, had 2 kind of inspired performances in a row, big first quarter. When a player like her that's played a lot of basketball gets kind of sees the end of their career coming up, around the corner in terms of, do you notice a change sometimes? Do you sense that in her at all?
What I sense in Sid is I think I've heard her talk about it, but I think I've heard her talk about it in the sense, like today with the media that was at practice, was more about finishing this the right way for Chloe, right? And again, that, Strip's only been here a year, Sid decided, not to come here at the beginning of her career, but then, made the move to come back to Indiana and want to be a part of this program. And she's been such an important part of it, the Big Ten championship and the wins and whatnot. But, you know, I think for Sid, it's, yeah, I think there's some, you know, she sees, you know, her career, you know, here in the last, you know, coming to an end, but I think she is also mindful that it's also an end to, you know, Chloe's career and Strip's career, but especially for Chloe, you know, that's been here as long as she has. You know, she wants Chloe, much of the way that Chloe wanted Grace Berger to go out, you know, and Chloe felt so badly because Grace didn't go out the way we wanted her to. And so I think there's motivation, you know, in Sid to see this thing through, and especially not just for her team, but I think in a special way for Chloe.
Yep.